Hey, all of my fellow emotional executionees out there, you avoidant attachment discardees, right? So maybe some of you have been watching some of my content. Now, at this point, I haven't posted anything. I've set everything in order to be posted at a certain time. This is not a kiss and tell event or project. This is just my way of documenting my experience. Given the fact that it's had a profound and powerful impact on my life, I recognized exactly what was going on as it was happening. And I wanted to document it. As you do research, you realize that this is affecting more people than what you would think. And being somebody who has coached other people from a physical fitness perspective and behavioral perspective, which means that we have to talk about your emotional standpoint, your mental mindset, and your spirituality, right? We have to talk about all these things, how it impacts your frame, for example, your lifestyle, your habits, your intimacy with your friends, family, and romantic partners. It affects everything, right? The attachment styles and whatnot, they have a significant impact on our daily lives. And as you go back and reflect, you see that maybe you yourself displayed those patterns and that behavior. And so we want to go back, and it's that behavior that allows us, and reflection of that behavior rather, that allows us to go back and see, okay, how is this holding me back in other aspects of my life? The parts that are like this mental resistance, because I've done well for myself professionally and personally. I've had setbacks, we all do, but at the same time, like, what is it that's holding me back from the higher self? Like, there are certain things. And so this was a really big opportunity for me to maybe have an impact in other people's lives as well. This is a big impact on my life. And so I want to talk about these things. And so as I'm going back and watching some of this stuff, I can be a little fiery about some of it. And I was thinking, man, do I really want to put that up there? But it's important to document the whole thing, the whole experience, whether I agree with what I said at the beginning of the whole process, or whether I've evolved. It's important to see maybe how a person can change their views as they go through the process of trying to come to some kind of closure, because most likely you're confused. There's not closure to be had here, right? There is, but you don't see it yet, not in the traditional sense of a breakup, let's say. And so this is going to be important for your integration. So when I do life coaching, for example, we talk about integration. All right, so this is where we're taking introspection, reflection, we're taking accountability, we're taking an inventory of things, if you will, and then we're taking responsibility for our behavioral patterns and loops that we keep falling back into, right? Oftentimes we blame other people, and so we come back to all of it and we start to integrate the things that we learn over time. And as you do that, you gain an awareness and a better understanding, and it's easier to put the resentment and anger down. And in doing so, you become grateful for the opportunity in the moment. And during this integration, there are going to be times where, especially if you're choosing to, not everybody is going to integrate. Not everybody is going to do the reflection. Unfortunately, that's not the world we're living in right now. Maybe it naturally brings balance to the universe. That's what they say in Star Wars. That's how the ebb and flow of life seems to go. People will come into their own and transcend over time as they are called to over time in their lives, we'll say. And that's my hope and dream for everybody out there eventually. And it happens at different times in their lives. In any case, for those who have chosen to take the higher route and use this as an opportunity to grow and learn so that we can transcend to that higher version of ourselves and have healthier relationships, number one with yourself, but others as well. Professional success in many ways, depending on how you define success. We've decided to take responsibility, and in the process, that integration phase is going to be very important. So we'll talk about this here. This is a very big concept that I want to put out there. You think about the person. There's no closure. You do obsessive thinking, you're ruminating. These are common phrases that you hear. And you have thought patterns that you interrupt over time, thought pattern recognition, interruption, and then you flip the script. You start reframing your thought patterns. You develop new neurological pathways on a deeper level. And that's where you are rewiring your nervous system, in a sense, your neurological pathways, your thinking, because remember, your thinking are going to become feelings, and those feelings do become action. Now, when you're going through this integration process, what's happening is you don't really see the differences right off the bat. It's kind of like when you go to the gym for a while and you don't really see the results, and all of a sudden everybody else sees how you're walking differently, you're talking differently, you're looking differently. It's hard for you to see it because you're looking in the mirror 10 times a day. But it's happening, and eventually you start to see it. Somebody takes a picture of you and you notice it in your face. You notice it in your chin, your yoke, right? Like your upper body, you notice it in your shoulders. Then you see that 6-pack starting to form, right? Or that 8-pack in some cases. And so all of these transformations are happening, and oftentimes you become it without realizing it in the 3D. During that time, there are going to be moments where the old version is going to come back in with that self-doubt. It's going to come back in certain ways. And in those moments, there were some driving factors for me that kept me focused. I couldn't pinpoint what it was exactly because I was having I won't say obsessive, but I thought this person would pop into my mind during the day when you don't want them to. During the day, work day, whatever, if you have breaks during the day, whatever the case, you're supposed to be busy at certain points of the day, even if it's silence, even if you're going to pray for a couple of minutes during a little break. For crying out loud, take that time. You deserve it. You need, it's recommended. I won't say what you need or should do. It's recommended. You deserve time to yourself. But they would just pop into your head over and over and over again throughout the day. And it's like, when is this going to end? And then a part of me did feel, even though I couldn't completely see it or experience it, changes were happening.